Hello everyone, so welcome back. So we'll start with our first step, that is SQL Server Integration Service. So as I told you in the previous lecture that I have already completed SSIS course, okay. So you can just watch it in one neuron, okay. So search for SSIS, okay. So that is a prerequisite, okay. So if you know SSIS, it will be very easy you to follow into this course. Anyways, I'll be discussing all about SSIS in a brief manner. So let's understand what is SSIS. Okay, so it is a platform for building a expert enterprise level data integration and data transformation solutions. So we use integration service to solve complex business problems by copying and downloading the files and loading the data inside the data warehouses, where we do all this cleansing and mining the data and managing the SQL objects and the data. So basically, we perform all the extraction of the data, right? So we can just transform the data and finally we load to the data warehouses. So this is what the SQL Server Integration Services. So let's try to open. Okay, so what I'll do, so uh, so let's open Visual Studio 17 SSDT. Okay. So here, so this is what the welcome page is. Okay, so here so we can just get started with the different projects which have already opened. Okay, so from the recent tab. So now let's go and create a new project. Let's go to file. Okay, so click on to the project. So here, so under the business intelligence, okay, so if you have any other selected, just click on to the business intelligence, expand, and here we have analysis service, integration service, and reporting service, right? So I'm starting with the integration service, and I have just selected the integration service project, okay, which comes under the business intelligence. So here you can just give the project name. So I'll just give project name as customer data. I've just given the project name as customer data, and just remember the location of the project where you want to store it. So it's under the users, Simran, sources, and repos. I can find this project. Fine. So I'll just click on to this. Okay. So this is the wizard, okay, so where I'll be working in SSIS. So here again we have a different tabs like control flow, data flow, we have parameters, event handlers, package exploration, okay. So the main thing is we have something called SSIS toolbox. So if you are not able to find this SSI toolbox, okay, so you can just go to the SSIS and click onto the SSIS toolbox, okay. This is what the toolbox, this is very important part, okay. So while building the SSIS project, so what is this control flow? So basically the control flow is one that performs any functions or provides a structure or control the flow of the elements, okay. So there must be at least one control flow element in SSIS package. So if I just try to, so right now I'm in control flow, okay. You can see like we have a different tabs for under the control flow, okay. So we have a bulk insert task, we have a data profiling task, okay. We have a different task here, okay. So under the control flow, so when I go to the data flow, so you can see like I have a different tabs here, right? So like I have a destination and the source assistance, and we have a different common transformation techniques and all those things, right? So so this is what the control flow is, okay. So where it provides a structure or a control the flow of the elements, okay. So as I told you, there must be at least one control flow element in SSIS package. So in SSIS workflow is called a control flow, okay. So if I say workflow, basically it's meaning a control flow, and the control flow links together all this different data flows, okay. So in series, okay. So I'll so once I get into hands-on, you'll understand it, okay. So when it comes to data flow, so data flow performs all this ETL related task, okay. It's extraction, transformation, and loading and all those things. So right now, so you can see, so I have no data flow selected. So for example, so if I want to add the source, so assume like I'll just create a new data flow. So once I click onto this, okay, so now the data flow, okay, this is the data flow interface where I can just drag the different components. When I go to the control flow, so I have a one data flow task, Okay, so I basically I can have a multiple control flows, okay, so which is linked to one another. So when I click onto this data flow task, I'll be getting into data flows. You can see like right now the tab has been changed, right? So this is the control flow. Inside the control flow we have a one data flow task. So I'll just go to the data flow. So in SSIS tutorial I have explained detailedly, okay, what is control flow, data flow. I have even explained the different tabs. Okay, you can just watch that. So right now I'm under this data float task, right? So I'll just double click it. So I don't have any task which is being running here, right? So what we'll do is first we'll load the data. Okay, that is a flat file where we have a text data. I'll just show you the text data. So this is all the customer data we have. So we have a customer code, we have a customer name and the customer amount, and we have a sales date. This is the basic data we have. So I want to load this data, that is I want to extract this flat file from my local system and I want to store it in the SQL server. Fine. So this is what my entire task is now, where I'm just doing extraction and loading. I'm right now I'm not focusing on any transformation. I just want to extract and load it. Okay, so this is what I would just want to do it. So let's start. So first I need the source, right? So I need to mention, okay, from where I need to get the data, right? So first I'll just drag this source assistant. So once I drag the source assistant, so I have a different options. Okay, what is the source type? Okay, I need to say, okay, so whether it's a SQL server, right? So whether it's the Excel file, okay, whether it's a fat file or whether it's from Oracle database or any other sources, right? So this, of course, mine it's a flat file. So here we have something called connection managers. So connection managers is like basically link uh, the data, okay, so with the SSIS, okay, so basically we're doing a connections, right? So wherever the our data is, okay, so we'll have the connection, that data with the SSIS. So right now I don't have any connections, so I'll just click on the new connection. So I want to create a new connection, so I'll click OK. Okay, so first I need to click the connect to the new location, sorry, new connection, right? So if I can need the connection, okay, so I'll give the connection name as uh, loading flat file. So here I need to give the file name. Okay, so where is my file name? So it's inside the this is what the same file. Okay, so what I have just opened here. Okay, so this is the same file. Okay, it's the customer one. I'm just pointing to this customer one. So this is what the file name is, and this is the different, this is I'll just keep it default right now. Okay, so this format is delimited, right? And so yeah, so this is done. So I can just see, if I click on the columns here, okay, I can see all the columns here. Okay, so of my data, so I have a customer code, customer name, customer amount, sales date. Okay, so this is all previews. So I'll just click onto this. Okay, so okay, and my connection name is loading a flat file, right? I'll click OK. So as soon as I click on OK, so you can see under the connection manager tab, so I have a loading flat file and my flat file has been connected. This is what the source is now, right? So flat file source, and this is my connection manager, so it is pointing to that file, right? So that's customer file. So as I told you, so we have the source ready, so I need to connect to the destination. So I told the destination would be SQL server. So let's try to open my uh, SSMS, that is SQL Server Management Studio. I'll just connect it. So what I'll do, let's go and create a new database first. I'll give the database name as customer data warehouse. This is what the database name I have given. I click onto this. Okay. So I'll just refresh. So if I expand the database, so here you can just find the customer data warehouse, right? If I try to expand, right now I don't have any tables, right? So before sending the data from the flat file, okay, to the destination, so I need to of course create a table, right? So right now I don't have any table. I click on this table and I'll create a new table. So I need to give the column name. Okay, so to save time, I've already created that names. Uh, yeah. So first is customer code. Okay, so I'll just copy and paste it, and the data type is var character. I'll var character of 50. So next we have a customer name. Even this is of var character of 50. Then I have a customer amount. Of money data type, right? So you can see it's money data type. And next we have a sales date of date type. Yeah. Okay, so my table is ready. I'll just go and save. So table name, I'll just give customer table. I'll click OK. Okay, so my table is ready. So my database and table, everything is ready. So I'll just get back to this uh, Visual Studio. So now, so we have, I need to connect with destination, right? So I don't want to perform any transformation right now. So here we have OLDB destination. So I'll just drag this. So again, what is OLDB and what are different sources? I have explained in the SSIS in detail. Okay, so you can just watch that first. So fine. So let's go and connect it. Okay, so I'll just double click onto this. Now I need to configure the connection manager for the destination. So right now I don't have any connection managers, you can see, right? So I'll just click on to this new. So let's, yeah, so you can just click on to this new. So you need to give the server name. Okay, so once you give the server name, so how will you find the server name? If I just go to the SSMS, so this is what the server name is. If I try to click on this properties, and this is what the server name is. Fine. So I'll just copy this. I'll paste it. So authentication is Windows authentication. So I need to select the database name, so which I've just created. So my database name is customer data warehouse, right? And yeah, so everything is done. So I just connected. So I'll click on OK. Yeah, so you can see. So once I click on to this OK, so this is where I can just find the connection manager. Okay, so I'll click on it. So first you need to go to new, add your server name and everything. So then you need to select this and click on to the OK. Okay, so my connection manager is set. So now I need to select the table. So I'll just expand this data access mode. So this is what the table is. So now I need to select the table. So I have created only one table, that is customer table, right? So this is what the customer table is. So if I just click on this mapping, so right now you can see all the mappings over here, right? So we have a customer code, it is mapped to customer code. This is the input columns and this is what destination columns. So mapping is done. So if you are, if for example mapping is wrong, you can just select it here. Okay, so if you have any other mappings or if you want to ignore some of the columns, you can just do it. I'll click on this. Okay. So one main thing you need to observe here is, okay, I don't have any error. Okay, when you're finding this type of cross arrows, right? So it's basically it's not been configured properly. You have some errors into that. Okay, so I don't have any errors in flat file source, but I have some errors. You can see if I just hover onto this, so it's telling, okay, column customer code cannot convert between the Unicode, yeah, Unicode and non-Unicode string data types. So let's try to understand those errors. Okay, so then I'll explain how to solve this. So first let's try to understand what is a Unicode and non-Unicode. Fine. So when I say non-Unicode, okay, so it will be of the data type character, varchar, that is variable character, and text. Okay, so very important, remember this. So when I'm just discussing about the non-Unicode, so this is what the different data types we have in the non-Unicode. When I say Unicode, so we have nchar, we have nvarchar, and we have ntext. Fine. And so when I say non-Unicode, okay, So it requires a 1 byte of storage. Okay, so of course, like let's see, whenever I'm doing storing data inside the database, of course I need to mention the data type, right? So what is the data type? And of course in detail, like whenever we're discussing about the storage, of course there will be some storage point, okay, when I have to store it, right? So where we are storing the characters, right? So it requires 1 byte of storage to store the non-unicode. Okay, so this is what the main thing is. When I want to store the Unicode, okay, it requires basically 2 bytes of storage. Assume like we have a customer code here, okay. So when I just defined it, okay, so now the customer code, okay, customer name, okay, these are the two string data types which I have defined. I have just given as the n var character, remember, right? So if you remember, so while creating the table, I have given it as the n var character, right? So basically I'm telling, so whenever I'm adding the data inside the SQL server, so it will be of this data type, right? But when I'm just loading the data from source file, it is assuming that by default it is a non-Unicode. So what is a non-Unicode? It is assuming that all these characters are of character and varchar, okay, where it requires just 1 byte storage. By the time it reaches to the destination, it is expecting that it should be have to be n var character, why it requires a 2 bytes of storage. Okay, so here you can see, so these are some of the use cases. Okay, so when we need to go with the non-Unicode and when we need to go with the Unicode. So when I'm just working with the US English, okay, so just characters like small a to z or capital A to z or 0 to 9 characters, okay, so I need to go with the non-Unicode. So here that's what same thing they have mentioned. Okay, so when I'm just working with the foreign languages, okay, so when I'm just dealing with the database which has the multiple languages, okay, so of course I need to go with the Unicode. Okay, so where it requires a 2 bytes of storage. This is the main difference. Okay, so it requires 1 byte of storage and requires 2 bytes of storage, and is best suited for the just one kind of language, that is US English, and it is best suited for system which we have foreign languages, all the multiple languages. Okay, so now in our problem, what is the error they are showing? So in our file, okay, so whatever the file I'm just uploading the customer, whatever the file I've just uploaded, so it's telling it is a non-Unicode. So your non-Unicode in the sense it's treating this as a character, right? So character and varchar. But when I configured the no SQL server, so it was of the type n varchar or n varchar, right? So this is what the error it's telling. Okay, so when I just open this, so when I hover onto this, so column customer code cannot convert between the Unicode and non-Unicode string data types. This is what the error is. So before what? So we have one way. Okay, so how we can just convert this? So first I'll just select this connection string. I'll just delete it. We have something called data conversion. Okay, so with help of this data conversion component, okay, so I can just convert the non-Unicode to the Unicode. Okay, so once I connect to this flat file source, you can see, so I'll just open this data conversion. So first I need to select, okay, which all the input columns. Okay, so the string data type is of the customer code and the customer name. You can see right now it is a string. Okay, so data type of string. So basically it is a non-Unicode, so I need to convert into Unicode. Okay, so I'll just select this. So you can see Unicode string data type, Unicode string data type. I'll click on the OK. Fine. So now what I'll do, so I'll just go and connect with the OLB destination. So right now also I have error. So why? Because I need to do proper mapping, right? So I told you about the mapping. So right now I'll click onto this copy code. So I need have a copy of customer. From where I'm just getting this from here, right? So I'll just show you once again. Data conversion. So input column is customer code. I have a output alias as a copy of customer code, right? So this I can just rename this, but I'll just keep it default. So customer code, right? It is called when it in the input I have the customer code as a name, but when I'm just doing the data conversion, so I'm just calling this column as a copy of customer code because I've just converted into Unicode. All right. So we have a copy of customer name as well. Okay, so I'll just open this. So I need to do proper mapping, right? So now it's not a customer code, so it's a copy of customer code, and it's not a customer name, it's a copy of a customer name. I'll click OK. So you can see the error is gone. Fine, very simple. So we have a flat file source. So even I can just double click and change the name of this also. Okay, so be careful with the double click, it will select this. When I just zoom it, yeah, I need to select, then yeah, so I can just save the file, change the this namings as well. Fine, so I have a source file. then I'm doing a data conversion, and I'm just storing into the OLDB destination. So even I'll just show you here. If I just try to open it, this is what the table is, right? I'll just close this. So right now I'm under the customer data warehouse. If I just try to refresh, this is what the table I have, right? So if I just try to views, so right now I don't have any data. Fine. Okay. So now let's go and run. So to execute this, so we have to click onto the start. So I'll click onto the start here. Yeah, so here you can see there was 8 rows. Okay, it has been passed to the data conversion, it has been converted, and it has been passed to the destination. So let's go and check in the destination. So I'll just go over here. So now if I just right click and select the top 1000 rows, you can see the data has been moved. Fine. So very simple, you can see. So we have copied the flat file, that is what the extraction we have done, and we have done the basic transformation, that is we have just converted the data type, and finally we have loaded into the database. Okay, simple integration SSIS project, right? Very simple. So and one more main thing I need to show you here. So when I am into this, yeah, so everything is done, right? So I'll just stop this debugging. Yeah, fine. So and one more main thing you need to remember is this thing, this stuff. Okay, so this is our project name, right? So we have a customer data. This is what the solution we have, the customer data, uh, customer data, and under this we have a projects, and under the projects we have a packages. So remember this flow. So we have a solution. Under solution I have a multiple projects. Okay, this is very important step, because if you are new, okay, you need to know this, right? So we have a solution. Under the solution we have a multiple projects, and each project we have a DTSX package and XML file. Fine. So same structure you can see here. So we have a solution, and right now, so I have only one project, that is a customer data, and we have a project, and we have a packages which is of DTSX. This package is very important. Okay, so whatever you're just saving the file, right, it will be of the DTSX, right? So if I just go over here to the PC, it was under user, right? So I just go to the user, Imran repos, we had something called dbt. Data. Yeah, so under the source and under the repos, and this is what the project are, right? Customer data, right? So I'll just show customer data, and when I open the customer data project, so here you can see I have a package, right? So integration package. What is this package? So what all the components I've just added, right? It includes everything. It includes the fat file, include data conversion. It has all this components which has been saved in the in this format, right? So in the XML file. So this structure you need to remember. So we have a solution. Under the solution we have a multiple projects, and each project has a package, an XML file. Fine. So this is what the simple demo, okay, to show you how we can just do the basic extract, okay, and even we'll have the further transformation. We can I'll just show you how we can just transform it, okay. So I hope you understood. Okay, so let me know if you're getting any errors or if you want to clarify anything. So let's move on to the next video.